Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are back at it as France, trying to promote the House of Bourbon to the throne. The House of Orleans is currently being challenged by the House of Bourbon, which is what we want. We are just about ready to get our construction accelerated here, but we actually have more business in Africa. We're going to take over Ait Abbas. So, let's go ahead and conquer that. 6.7 infamy. We can tolerate that. Oh, not... No, we can't. Not quite. Not quite. Because we need to be at 18.3 or lower. If my math is correct. My math might be wrong, but that's okay. It's nighttime in Europe. I think the night cycle lasts really long, but that's what it is. Building up these construction industries. Right here in Lyon. This is where we get our last iron mine built up. And that's going to put our infrastructure in Ile de France right now? Oh, that's a problem. Well, we can't build more construction industries there then. You know what? Actually, yes we can. Because we can use a road maintenance decree. And then we'll be able to build up another railway whenever there is time. Throw those back at the top of the track here. Infamy is below 17. Let's get going with Ait Abbas. They've refused. No one should be surprised by this. Let's mobilize the Armée d'Afrique and send them to fight. Because we were diligent about encircling them, we only have one front here. Double check on our diplomacy with Mascara. Two years. 2 years until that's done. Go ahead and increase the game speed here. So, we're working on these construction sectors. I think technically we don't need this fertilizer plant, but we are buying a lot of foreign fertilizer, particularly from Prussia and Belgium and Sweden. Ooh, Bulgarians are immigrating to France. That's wonderful. Relations with the Ottomans are poor, but they could be better. Let's go ahead and improve them. They're feeling conciliatory towards us. It looks like Russia did not end up taking all that stuff they were trying to take. They might have gotten a little bit of territory over here. Yeah, they got... No, they didn't. They didn't even get the rest of Kars. They were trying to take, like, Adana and Cyprus and, like, a bunch of other territories, but they didn't end up doing it. Anybody interested in fighting us over, Ait Abbas over here? No? Nobody? No takers? Alright. Great. Great. Victor de Broglie endorses Orleanist cause. Victor de Broglie has pledged the landowners in full to the Orleanist cause. While ambitious, his statements have aroused controversy, both within the landowners and without. Victor de Broglie, my heart for Orleans. An auspicious day arrives for House Orleans. Prolific royalist and outspoken pundit for the landowners, Victor de Broglie voices support for the House's ascent to Charlemagne's throne. The people of Paris were quick to shout both support and slander for de Broglie's announcement this morning. Continued on page 2. He had best preserve decorum, gives them 10 progress and makes him respectable. Or, what good is a reputation if it cannot be spent? Their progress will decrease by 1 every month, but it gives them 25 progress right away. I believe we had this event before. I'm going to do the second one. Give them a bunch of progress, but their progress is actually now ticking down, which is excellent. Do we have a line item for MISC? I feel like I would love to have a MISC event line item here. Because once Napoleon gets back, there's going to be a headache for us here. Hold on. Let me do the math about this. If we can get out ahead of the Bonapartists, then we should keep the government as illegitimate as we can keep it. But if they get out ahead of us, slowing down is going to be better. So I think I'm good for now. Oh, wait. I have two possible actions, which is I can endorse one of these houses. And then I can bounce back to the Legitimists, I think. That was definitely how it worked last time. We are in a war with Ait Abbas at this point. I think this war is going to be very, very fast. A battle is about to pop off, in fact. Yep, as you can see, we are winning here. The enemy's forces are very few and not very good. Irregular infantry, mostly. And they are currently in retreat, so... We'll see if there are other battles here, but I don't really see it as something that needs to be watched closely. We are building up these fertilizer plants. Uh-oh. The Egyptian-Ottoman crisis. The Ottoman Empire's attempt to take back control of the Levant or Egypt has become an international incident. Our involvement may tip the balance of power in the region. At 30 minutes past midday came the messenger with a single waxed envelope. Chill winds followed in his stumbling, breathless gait. Every other general and advisor gathered around the king and cried for decorum. The messenger brought it forward, and with a choking gasp about its origin, Egypt. The Ottomans were coming for Egypt. We need to keep an eye on the region, or we have no interest in this crisis. I'm going to say we need to keep an eye on the region, and this does not put us in a position to actually intervene in this diplomatic play. We are not currently involved, but now we're keeping an eye on things. In the current build of the game, the Ottoman Empire is generally very likely... Wait a minute. Oh, I'm a fool. It wasn't the Ottoman Empire at all. It was Egypt. They were coming for Egypt. And they were trying to take back all those spots that the Ottomans are trying to take back now. That's take back. They were trying to take all those places the Ottomans are trying to take back now. That's what's going on. It was the Russians. They were the ones trying to get a hold of these territories. Man, the Egyptians cannot catch a break here. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, friends. We've almost won this war here. By which I mean we haven't occupied the entire country yet, but we're working on it, and it seems extremely likely that we will ere long. They do currently have war support protection because we haven't fully conquered them, but again, I think that'll be very fast. And in the meantime... Alright, now they're conquered, and that'll sort itself out pretty quickly. Russia, you want a trade agreement? Absolutely. I would love a trade agreement with you, Russia. I love trade agreements. I love them. Standard of living is a little bit stagnant. That's okay, though. It's not a huge tragedy. We are continuing to build up these vineyards. Are they... No, they're not going to say yes to this until they capitulate. The heirs of the Grand Army. Oh, I don't like this event. The good spirits of French soldiers in our current conflict brings rise to memories of the triumphant armies of Napoleon I. The Bonapartist cause has enjoyed an increase in popularity along the front lines. Stirrings among the people and soldiery alike rumbled through the streets. From the dampest inn corners to the trodden fields, the memory of Napoleon's first decisive victories rouse all. France's grand regiments might again march through Paris at the order of a new Bonaparte. Patronize the soldiers with a good showing. This gives the Bonapartists 5 progress and makes the armed forces 15% stronger. And this bodes well for the Bonapartist cause. This is just more progress for the Bonapartists. I'm going for the first one. Strengthening the armed forces is not ideal, but they're not headed up by a Bonapartist at this time. So that will be less bad for the House of Bourbon, which is what we're concerning ourselves with at the moment. And there's Constantine fully conquered. I'm going to go ahead and normalize production methods in these zones. Probably should have checked what was different, but that's okay. Armée d'Afrique has accrued a couple of additional units, so I'm going to reduce them. And we are just about finished with this fertilizer plant, which means we're full steam ahead on all these industries. And I'm actually going to get started with increasing home affairs right now. We've got just about enough bureaucracy to afford it. And then I think we can move these silk plantations even up above the government sectors. I do still want to build that motor industry because I don't want to be importing motors from Britain in this time so early on in the age of our industrialization. You know what? I think I'll put 2 government admins ahead of the coffee plantations. And then the other 2 behind. I probably could have just used Alt-click, but whatever. It's fine. So we're building up wine infrastructure. We've changed up the wine tariff. We are continuing to consume most of the wine that we produce, or sell it abroad. Are there more places we can sell it? We can sell it to Tuscany at a pretty good profit, I should add. So interestingly, Egypt is really winning in Tripolitania, but they're losing over here in these areas that the Ottoman Empire is trying to take back. So we'll see if that actually helps. Whereas East India Company is importing iron from us. That's a little silly. Siam is improving relations. Well, gosh, I would love to be related to you, Siam, but I want to keep my infamy decay because I'm trying to get as low on infamy as I can get with mascara before we go absolutely buck wild on this. I think I can just wait until the United States is finished out, and then this will end naturally, and that'll give me a little bit more influence to give me extra infamy decay. Because I want to keep this going down. This is going to go down by 5 per year baseline. Mascara's truce with me ends in 1 year. So I'm going to need to wait about another year before I can grab the rest of them, but it's not necessarily that long. Alright, so Tripolitania is fully occupied by Egypt. Now they can concentrate their forces in the north here. So let's continue to work on our market. Tobacco is all over the place. We're actually importing a lot of tobacco. Can we grow our own? Yes, we can, actually. We can grow some in Pondicherry. And there's water tube boiler. So we can grow tobacco in Pondicherry. We've got access to the French Ivory Coast. That's right down here. Yeah, you know what? We'll build up tobacco infrastructure there, and we'll build one in the West Indies as well. I think we have the infrastructure necessary available for that. The infrastructure capacity, and we'll actually move these 2 government admins down to the bottom. So we're just interspersing a little bit of industry in with all this other stuff. All the other stuff we need. Actually, I'm gonna only put 1 government admin up there, and the rest of it we're gonna build that way. We did just unlock water tube boiler, so let's get our at least our iron mines over to the new method, the condensing pump engine. This is going to increase iron output by 123. And let's go ahead and get the coal mines over to using it as well. That's going to increase tooling costs. And then we'll get those mines on using explosives as well. But that shouldn't impact their profits too much. The words of the Church. The burgeoning prestige and influence of the Catholic Church has led to a corresponding rise in the fortunes of the legitimist cause. Nostalgic clergymen sing the praises of the kings of old. The brass bells of Rheims were polished to a mirror gleam that morning. It is long since a coronation was held here. Once the bells heralded days of kings named by God as the shining jewel in his crown. Now only ghosts and cobwebs accompany the bells, but the kingdom of God is eternal and it is only a matter of time before the bells sing for a new king. The church is the bedrock upon which we rest. Progress 5 for the Legitimists, 15% stronger Catholic Church attraction, or this bodes well for the Legitimist cause, 15 extra progress. I think at this stage, 15 progress matters more to me than having a stronger Catholic Church. Particularly because well, how much of this are we getting from clout? Quite a bit, but we are building up agriculture building levels. I think I'm going to do this second one, because I want to make sure that I keep ahead of the Bonapartists. Alright, let's get going a little faster here, and we'll give it a couple of weeks, and we'll see how this impacts our market. Tools are still very expensive in France. Steel is too, as are explosives. We can pull in a little bit of explosives, I think. Prussia is selling plenty of them. Tools I think we can import as well. Oh, Prussia's selling a lot of tools. Prussia, you and I are going to be good trade partners. Hey, we have a trade agreement. Oh, that's convenient. Cross-border investments. French industrialists are interested in making investments in neighboring Piedmontian industries. He stood up, put his hat on, and headed towards the door. At first it seemed he would leave without another word, but then he turned around and spoke with barely suppressed anger. Being accused of lacking in patriotism for where I try to make money isn't just insult. It betrays a complete lack of understanding of how money is made. Do you think I made what I have by thinking provincially? An excellent investment. Improves relations with Sardinia and Piedmont by 30 and gives them a big manufacturing tax income bump. Or strong-arm them into investing domestically. Makes the industrialists mad, but gives us a big manufacturing tax income bump. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't need the money. And I certainly don't want my industrialists to be mad. Catholic Church petitioned government. Representing his constituents in the Catholic Church, François-René Chateaubriand has issued a formal petition to the French government to pass legal guardianship. One matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Is that it? Goodness, it seems as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure we can spend the last hours of the day for them, can't we? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. They want to roll back women's rights. We'll see what we can do. This adds to the petition, or they must understand the present situation does not allow for this. This makes them a little bit mad. Ooh, and it gives us a legitimacy penalty. Ooh, having a legitimacy penalty would actually be good right now. Petition will be rejected. Doing this multiple times with the same interest group will have worse consequences. I think I am going to do it as a sneaky way of reducing my legitimacy. Because that'll increase the progress of the Legitimist and the Orleanist causes. But, in the Bonapartist causes. But increasing our gain will be very, very... Like, increasing the gain of both of these is actually better for us because we're both going pretty fast and we've got a good lead. Our number is also increasing. So I think we can continue to... I think increasing both of ours is the right call. So we finished out building all those extra wineries. So what kind of export options do we have? Still none. But I have to assume that our trade routes are flexing upward to accommodate the extra supply. So that is good. 14 weeks away from increasing home affairs. That's going well. We finished out improving relations with the United States, meaning we are getting a full 25% extra infamy decay. Meaning, Mascara, your time is going to come soon. And we are now working on the silk plantations. So, what does silk look like right now in our market? Silk. Here. All of our silk is being used by textile mills, and all of it's being created in silk plantations. So actually, building up silk will be good for our textile industry, but we'll also be able to sell it abroad later. We are also importing a large amount of hardwood and wood. I think mostly from Russia, yeah. hardwood from kind of all over the place. That's interesting. So, other stuff we need in the docket. We need to get a railroad here in French East Sahara. Things are not going well there. Just because they don't have full access to the market. And as a result, the standard of living is pretty low, and it's causing a lot of turmoil. So we need to work on that. That's something we need to get knocked out. We got these two movements generating a lot of radicals, but... An Orleanist army? General Thomas Bugeaud has made numerous statements in support of the Orleanist cause, using his position in the military to spread his beliefs far and wide. My family bled for Napoleon and his grand dreams of Europe under France, and now a pretender comes to ask me to bleed for the same dream. Not any pretender, General, not any dream either. A throne restored, greater than any republic before or to come, and with you at its head we will not have it any other way. Our soldiers sing the praises of the Orleanist cause, or the Orleanists would benefit from a consistent advocate. I'm going to do the first one. So 15 progress of the Orleanists right now, as opposed to 0.5 progress per month, is much better for us because they're not gaining any progress each month. I've been systematically buggering their ability to gain progress through events and various other machinations, so I think I'm very confident. We are also neck and neck with the Bonapartists at this point, which means I will hopefully not need to reduce the size of the military any further as we get going along here. We'll make a reassessment of it, and we might have to have a little bit of a DeGenCat math hour by the time when Louis Napoleon gets back to France, but I think I don't think it's going to be a problem. We actually have a pretty solid iron surplus here. I could build more construction industries. Let's see where we are with infrastructure in Ile-de-France. We're pretty good. But again, concentrating my construction industries here, I'm not sure if it's the right call. You know what? It is. I've decided. We'll do one more level each in Ile-de-France and Rhône, and there's home affairs increasing. So that's going to increase our overall ability to conscript, which is very important. I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to build these next. And those will get built pretty fast. Our truce with Mascara is nearly ended. And we've almost got a low enough. We need to get below 7.5 in order to be able to take them over. I believe it's going to be... Well, we can look. Interactions, diplomatic plays targeting states not available. Oh no, only 11.7. Oh, that's right, because this one is easier. Is lower... It's a smaller state overall than the other one was. Than Algiers was. That's what it was. Alright, so... As soon as our truce is done, I'll be able to grab Mascara, and that will be the conclusion of the conquest of Algeria. Because once Mascara, once Oran, Algiers, and Constantine are in my hands, it'll all be good to go. Recent concerns. The Catholic Church have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clear air of France with a dense and vicious poison. This needs to be addressed, makes the Catholic Church happier, and gives the Legitimists 10 progress, makes the industrialists angry, -2. Alternatively, and industrialists once again are +11, so that's fine. The need to accept we cannot always please everyone. This decreases the progress of the Legitimists, and reduces the strength of the Catholic Church, and makes them mad. I'm definitely going to go with the first one. Getting legitimist progress is super duper good for our run. It seems the Egyptians are continuing to lose over here. Well, I mean, they're in... Oh, I guess the Russians bailed. So, that is what it is. Popularity contest. King Louis-Philippe d'Orléans' desperation for the approvals of his subjects has inspired Adolphe Bédard to further the Republican Union's views. Look now at this failed ruler, this appointee of God, a man who barely knows what day it is, let alone how to tie his own shoes. Attended for his every whim by you, you bakers and cobblers, you tailors and butchers, and now he rewards his favorite flatterers with the sweat of your brow, your very lives. If God appointed him, then I say God is a fool. No, no, I say God is dead. It's a bit extreme, don't you think? Rally the people in the city squares, 30% momentum for the Republican Union. Address the king's loyal thinkers. Spiraling unpopularity, reducing Louis-Philippe d'Orléans' political strength and popularity. Or enlighten the faltering king directly. Reduces authority. Increases the strength and approval of the intelligentsia and the rural folk. Interesting. So this is just going to be marshalling support for the Republican Union. This first one, rally the people in the streets. This is going to be address the king's loyal thinkers. So that gives us 10% momentum, and it makes him weaker. And then this one, enlighten the king. I'm not really sure what these are meant to mean exactly. France gets enlightened class, minus 10% authority. And then rural folk gets associated with unpopular monarch, plus attraction. I'm not sure what is actually meant to be going on here, but I think if we weaken the king, Louis-Philippe d'Orléans, that's great. So we're going to do this middle one. If he gets less popular, and that also makes the industrialists less popular, which is fine. So yeah, I think I'm good with that as an option. We are down below where we need to be, and Mascara is officially no longer in a truce with us. It's time to get conquered. Interesting. I'm not going to use the Army of Africa for this, because the Army of Africa is in a situation with their... Oh, this is the 3rd Army Corps. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't know why those are... Weird. Do I have them queued? No, they're trying to hire. That's what's happening. Alright, well, in any case, we'll just cut 1 unit of cavalry. 2 units of cavalry. We'll see how that goes. That's probably a barracks not being fully employed right now. I suppose this could increase military wages. I often do that. Military wages are very low right now. Not in terms of low for the jobs, but they're low in cost. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Orleanist, stating that their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. The fertile soil of our people suffers, relegated to tired and calloused hands, too exhausted from manual labor to perform at a decent level, too poor to be able to use more advanced tools that would make them more profitable. This industry is just a useless investment. We should follow their advice. This makes upper stratum pops radical in the area, but increases migration attraction. Or they serve our purposes. This makes the industrialists mad, -1. I don't want to make them too mad. They increase state construction efficiency, and that's really good. Ventilate, unify, beautify. Oh, that's new. That's French. That's a French unique one. That's neat. Cool. So I'm going to follow their advice. Let's see what the Catholic Church gives us. Okay, the Catholic Church gives us be fruitful and multiply. Because it's the Catholics. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Anyone want to fight? Could get Austria in this. Could get Sardinia-Piedmont in this. I like this new interface. It really gives you a good sense of who's motivated to do what. Britain is importing our silk. Oh, that's wonderful. I love when countries import our silk. Elections are in. The Resistance Party has 75% of the vote. The government is currently contested. That's fine. I could push the industrialists out at this time. That would make the government a legitimate government, but I don't desire that. We'll do that eventually. Alright. Increase the game speed here. We are getting to the end of the episode. We'll probably do most of this war afterward. Because I'll just kind of let it get to the end of the year. And then we'll go from there. I can replace the government, but I don't desire to. Because the government is exactly where I want it. We have a lot of radicals in the country, but mostly in Ile-de-France. But that's okay. We are getting close. We're getting high radicals in Ile-de-France. I think last time I made I did a decree to increase standard of living there, and I think I'm going to do this. Hold on, Third Army Corps. Why do you keep losing infantry? Gosh darn it! What's going on over here? I'm going to have to address that next time. Well, we got a lot going on. But we're going to have to leave it for the next episode. Friends, I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time. And I'll see you on the other side.